Sesame Street entered television screens on November 10, 1969. Over the years and across more than 4,000 episodes, it became a staple in kids' television. However, the early Sesame Street sketches were such a trip. Honestly, the kind of stuff you watch back now and can barely believe made the cut. Most of them were fine, but some of them were really genuinely strange. So, today, we're digging through the archives for 10 of the weirdest, most unhinged sketches Sesame Street ever put to air. Count to 10 with Nobody. Count to 10 with Nobody was a sketch from Sesame Street that was shown on episode 134. This is one of the most eerie sketches ever shown on Sesame Street. It involves Nobody, a Muppet consisting of two eyes and mouth made of a string, teaching the viewers how to count to 10, along with distorted and buzzing synthesizer sounds and psychedelic scanimate graphics. Originally, Nobody, or better known as Limbo, appeared in several Jim Henson shorts and commercials dating back to the 1950s. Limbo was controlled by two puppeteers with invisible wires attached to gloves. He would usually sound calm, pensive, and thoughtful, and would often give an uneasy feeling. One of the most notable short films which features Limbo is The Organized Mind, which is all about the human subconscious and Limbo's darkest and happy thoughts. Take a look for yourself.
Lovely. That's a nice thought. Isn't that beautiful? Of course, I've got some evil thoughts too. I guess everybody does. Hey, you want to see my evil thoughts? I keep them over here, in this part of my brain. And they're greedy thoughts, gluttony, hate, lust.
Mahatma Gander Toothbrushing. This old sketch comes from episode 1429. Meet Mahatma Gander, a bird who lives inside a magic mountain, one that has claymation hands modeled exactly like human hands. When Mahatma wakes up, the mountain uses those hands to make him breakfast. Then his toothpaste turns into a tiny mirror, and a talking toothbrush asks him how he can sing with teeth that dirty. So Mahatma brushes his teeth, and once he's done, he flies off. Toothbrush still in hand, of course. The whole thing was made using stop motion, a technique that's been around since the 1930s. And what really sticks with people isn't the technique itself, it's how Mahatma looks. There's something about his face that just feels a bit unsettling for what's meant to be a simple sketch about brushing your teeth. Operatic Orange. This sketch first aired in episode 277 back in 1971. An orange leaves the fruit basket, gets dressed up in random kitchen items, and becomes the lead role of Georges Bizet's 1875 opera Carmen. It sings the habanera.
L'amour, l'amour, l'amour.
Love is a rebellious bird. A song about love being wild and impossible to hold on to. And somehow that ends up being the plot too. A piece of fruit performing full opera for an audience that's mostly toddlers. The wackiness comes down to the style. That jerky stop motion look makes the whole thing feel even further off than it already is. It's called Operatic Orange. Make of that what you will. The Giant Mutant Rabbit. This sketch aired on episode 655 of Sesame Street, and I've gotta be honest, it's a very, very, very bizarre one. That's the sketch, basically. It was made by Swiss artist Etienne Delessert, who also made a handful of other sketches for the show, ones we'll get into later on. The I-beam. This one is from episode 1077, and it's simple on paper. An I-beam gets molded at a steel factory, heavy industrial music playing the whole way through, and that's generally it. No characters, no dialogue, just the process of metal being shaped into a beam. It ends on a freeze frame of the finished beam, shaped like the letter I, presumably to tie it back to the alphabet lesson of the day. No narration, no message, nothing whatsoever. What makes it odd is the music. It doesn't sound like something you'd hear on a kids show. It sounds like something pulled straight out of a horror movie. All tension and dread with no release. And plenty of people who grew up watching this still remember it genuinely scaring them, an unassuming little segment about factory work that somehow left a mark. Same and different, Mummenschanz. Mummenschanz is a theatrical group formed in Switzerland back in 1972 by Bernie Schurch, Andres Bossard, and Floriana Frassetto. Their work has no dialogue at all. It's built entirely around movement, shape, and sound. On episode 226, they appeared on Sesame Street as two cardboard boxes, teaching kids the concept of same and different. What makes it so quirky is the sound design itself. These rapid, squeaky noises pair with equally rapid movements from the boxes, darting and jerking around in a way that feels genuinely strange to watch. And this wasn't a one-off appearance either. Mummenschanz went on to make a handful of other sketches for the show too. The Lost Boy and the Yo-Yo Man. This one is from episode 408. A kid is riding his bike and he passes by a fish shaped exactly like the yellow submarine from the Beatles, a hippo bouncing on a pogo stick, and a cuckoo clock with real live cuckoo birds inside of it. Eventually he admits he is lost. Then he runs into a yo-yo just hanging there in midair, and out of the string steps a man. Bottom heavy, top hat, and kind of unsettling to look at, honestly, in a way that is hard to put into words. As the kid tries to remember the landmarks he passed, the man dissolves and rebuilds himself into each one before basically telling the kid to figure it out himself and pushing him to retrace his own steps.
Can you help me get unlost?
Well, you should figure it out for yourself, little guy, but I'll give you a hint.
Oh, thank you.
Try to remember everything you passed, but when you go back, make the first thing the last.
Wow.
None of it is explained. It is just surreal, slightly unsettling imagery, and somehow that is the whole lesson. Kermit's B Sound. Kermit's B Sound first appeared on the 68th episode of the first season of Sesame Street, which was also part of Kermit's Lectures, a recurring segment that ran especially heavy through the first 7 seasons of Sesame Street. Kermit's up there explaining in a surprising amount of detail exactly how to make the letter B sound. Then the beautiful day monster wanders by, and Kermit, being the good sport he is, decides to run through the whole lesson again just for him. The monster actually gets it right, except it comes out as this booming bah loud enough to send Kermit sprinting off screen entirely, and somehow loud enough to fog up the camera lens itself, which is what makes this sketch kind of unsettling.
Did you understand that?
I understood that.
All right, well, let us see if you can make the sound of the letter B.
Okay, ready?
Ready, go ahead.
The Bird Sketch. The Bird Sketch appears on episode 1173 of the 9th season of Sesame Street, and it is genuinely one of the weirder entries on this list. It opens with this bird that looks almost drunk, this wobbly psychedelic design that already feels off before anything even happens. Like it is uncomfortable just existing on screen. And the actual premise of the sketch is that this bird goes wandering around eating rectangular edges, and as it eats them, they spell out the word bird. That's the sketch. But really, it is really unsettling to look at. The Morphing Faces. These sketches, made by Etienne Delessert, appeared on episodes 628 and 642. I honestly don't have a comment about these sketches, but take a look for yourself. They're just unsettling to look at, and honestly, these are one of the most weirdest I've ever seen so far.